So this is Andy Audate, and I'm taking over the Shane Train 1% show. I'm also doing a live on my phone, and I'm doing a live on Shane's phone. And I want to talk about fear, man. And also, in addition to fear, I want to talk about showing up, man. Showing up, like the value in showing up. Listen, yesterday, Noah Walsh, he is a sales trainer, and let me set this up right here. I'm trying to set this up right here and set up my phone because I'm doing a live on my phone, and I'm doing a live on Shane's phone, the Shane Train. Okay. All right, so we got both of them set up. I'm on Shane's phone up here, and I got my live right underneath. And I want to talk about two things today: showing up and fear. Like, no more fear, no more average, none of that BS. Now, I have a friend, Noah Walsh. Let me straighten this up. I have a friend, or want to know. Okay, so I have a friend, Noah Walsh, who came from, I believe the way that it works out is that he was in Utah, and Utah is an hour from Vegas, Las Vegas, from my understanding. So Noah was on Facebook, and on Facebook he saw Greg Walker and the Shane Train and Jeremy and a whole bunch of different people in Vegas. And Noel said, hey, these guys are in Vegas. These guys are an hour away from me. I've never met these individuals. However, these people are very valuable people that I want to surround myself with. Ooh, let me try to set up my phone just to get it right, man. Try to get my phone right. Okay, awesome. So these people are valuable people. These people have great knowledge. These people could help me, and I could pour value to these people. And Noel said, hey, I'm going to show up. I'm going to take the decision to show up. So Noel's an hour away from Vegas, and he gets in his car. He drives to Vegas, Las Vegas. He gets to Las Vegas, and he meets Shane, he meets Greg, he meets Jeremy, he meets Victor, and all the other individuals that are valuable speakers, motivational speakers, businessmen, entrepreneurs. He meets them for the first time. Although he knows them on social media, he meets them for the first time in Las Vegas. Now, Noah Walsh is actually in the building. No, I'm talking about you, brother. I'm talking about you, man. I'm talking about showing up and not being scared and taking over fear, man. So Noah gets to Vegas, hanging out with Shane, hanging out with Victor, hanging out with Greg Walker and all these other individuals. And then Greg says to Shane, no, that there's a book signing. There's a book signing taking place in Rancho Cucamonga, California, which is 3.5 hours away from Vegas. No takes the leap, and he comes to California, Rancho Cucamonga, California. He goes to the book signing. Now, after the book signing, we have dinner. Now, we're having dinner around, it's late at night, probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and we have dinner. Then the next day after, there's an opportunity for Noel to come and speak at a conference that's taking place in this hotel that's behind me. Noel comes and speaks. Now, what I said to Noel was that there are people who don't know you or who didn't know you, that they know you now. Now they know you because what did you do? No, you showed up. And that's what I want to talk about, man. Well, that's what I'm talking about, is showing up. There's a lot of opportunities that you can take advantage of when you show up. And what happened with me when I showed up? Let me tell you what happened when I showed up. I'm on a Facebook live stream with Brad Lee, the real Brad Lee. The real Brad Lee is the CEO of Lightspeed VT, okay? Lightspeed VT. And he's having a live stream, and I get into the live stream, and I ask Brad Lee, I say, Brad Lee, let me ask you a question. How do I introduce myself to do an interview? And then I was asking him in general, but what had happened was someone in his company, and who goes by the name of Ken Walls, he said, Andy, contact me. And I said, Ken, how do I introduce myself to get an interview? To talk about my book, No More Average, that you can get at nomoreaveragebooks.com. Ken said, let's set it up. So we set up a date for me to go to Lightspeed. I get to Lightspeed, I do a Facebook Live interview with Ken Walls and Greg Walker, goes on to the interview because Greg Walker has a relationship with Ken Walls. So now Greg Walker knows who Andy Audate is, and Greg said, have Andy contact me to Ken Walls. Ken Walls gives me Greg's contact information. I call Greg Walls, and I say, Greg Walker. I say, Greg, it's a pleasure to meet you, so on and so forth, and we start building a relationship. And he's actually giving me some valuable information, and I'm talking to him, I'm sharing knowledge with him, and we go back and forth building a relationship. This happened in May. Now, in the beginning of May. Now, Greg says, hey, Andy, I'm coming to California. I have a speaking engagement in California. Why don't you come? I said, Greg, what's your speaking engagement? He says, the speaking engagement is in Ontario, California. I look at the distance between my house and Ontario, California, which is an hour away. I said, I'll go. No doubt, no question mark, I'm going. Greg comes to California, and he tells me he's gonna be at LAX. I go to LAX, I said, Greg, I'm there. LAX, you're there, I'm there. So I go and meet Greg at LAX for the first time, which was yesterday or 2 days ago, one of them. Whatever day he came, I think it was actually yesterday. But it's been such a long day that, no, it wasn't yesterday, it was 2 days ago. That's what it was, 2 days ago. So I get to LAX and I meet Greg Walker for the first time at LAX. I meet Greg Walker for the first time at LAX. And I showed up, man. I showed up. Now, Greg gave me an opportunity. He invited me here. So what did I do? I showed up. I wasn't scared. I had to overcome some fears by I don't know them. I don't know who I'm going to be around. But I showed up. And when I showed up, I got to meet some incredible individuals. I got some an experience that I can't imagine. Leah Brown is in the building. Leah. Terrence is in the building. Oh, sprinkler just turned on. Marquise is in the building. So Wendy's in the building, Joshua's in the building, Noel's in the building, Susan Day's in the building. So I showed up, and because I showed up, I got to meet an individual like Leah. If I had never showed up, Leah gave me so much information about social media marketing that in order for me to actually retain that information, I got to sit there with a notepad. So if you want to learn more information about social media marketing, you need to contact Leah Brown. I think her on Facebook is Leah Brown. Leah Brown. If you want to learn about social media marketing, she is an expert in this field. So because I showed up, I made the decision to show up and not be scared. I got to meet a person like Leah Brown who gave me a lot of information. And now my goal is to have her speak at the conference that's taking place September 29th at the LAX Marriott for the sales training event. However, showing up. Now, I'm ready to answer some questions, man. I'm ready to answer some questions. Some stuff that you're going through. I'm taking over the Shane Train's 1% show. I got my Facebook Live going on. So I'm ready to answer some questions and take you to the next level. How can I do that? How can I meet Andy Audate? Andy, can't quit Andy Audate. How can I be of value to you? I'm going to tell you one thing. Show up. Whenever you think about there's an opportunity, you don't know who's going to be there. Right? I'm holding a conference, right? In September 29th. There are people who are not going to show up, are going to miss a lot of opportunities. But there are people who are going to show up and they're going to make their next deal. I want you to imagine this. A real estate agent that gets 3% on a $100,000 house, right? 3% on a $100,000 house. The ticket for this event, the early bird VIP ticket, is $499. 3% on $100,000 is more than $499. But an individual is going to show up, find their next client, and sell a house because they showed up. So if you show up, you don't know what you're missing out on. But if you show up, if you don't show up, you don't know what you're missing out on. So here's my advice to you. When you feel in your heart and you have this dilemma, you have a dilemma between going and not going, go. Find out, because you can always leave. I remember my decision to move to California from Rhode Island. I said to my friend Patrick, who moved here with me, we were talking about coming or not, and I said, hey, if things go bad, things go rocky, we can always come back to what we know back home in Rhode Island. It's been a year and 3 months. I haven't gone back, and I'm not going back. I showed up, and because I showed up, I'm meeting some crazy individuals. I'm meeting some individuals who are amazing. I'm meeting some individuals who are helping my life prosper. I'm helping so many people that I don't know. I'm overcoming some serious fear. I'm overcoming some serious doubt. I'm doing things that I've never done before. I'm meeting some people I would have